Hi everyone, my name is Sam and welcome to today's video. Today I'm just going to share 5 great books about Warren Buffett. I've been reading a lot about him this year. Many of these books I've read 2 or 3 times. I love learning about Warren Buffett and the way he's lived his life and the way he operates his personal life and his business side. And so for this video, there's 5 books that are very different. But I think if you are interested in all about Warren Buffett or about investing or about business or leadership or anything like that, then I think these books could potentially teach you something interesting and you can learn from them. So the first book I want to talk about is The Snowball by Alice Schroeder. This is the quintessential Warren Buffett biography. It's a pretty long book. It's a very detailed look at Warren Buffett from a little kid who was obsessed with making money and starting then to accumulate this snowball that would grow and grow into what it is now, all the way into like the mid-2000s. And it's a really interesting book. You get the full Warren Buffett, everything he's been doing. And it's a great biography. I've read it multiple times, and it's fascinating. I love the beginning part of this book. It opens with him speaking at a conference, and it's at the height of the tech bubble, the internet bubble. And at this point in time, in the late 1990s, everyone thought Warren Buffett was a has-been because he didn't participate in buying internet stocks or tech companies. He didn't think they had value. And so at this conference, he stands in front of a group of CEOs from the tech world, and he basically tells them that their industry is really worthless, and eventually the value will diminish, and the extreme valuations will come back to earth. And they just kind of laughed at him. And a few years later, Warren Buffett got the last laugh as his predictions were correct. But it was such a bold thing to say in front of that audience, and the book captures it perfectly in the first few chapters of the book. So go check it out, The Snowball. The second book I wanted to mention is right here. It's called The Essays of Warren Buffett. This is a very interesting book. This was compiled by Lawrence A. Cunningham. And so if you know anything about Warren Buffett, you know that he owns Berkshire Hathaway. And as chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, every year he writes an annual letter to his shareholders, and they are a gold mine for business principles. And he does this every year. He doesn't hide anything. He tells you exactly what he's thinking, what he's worried about, how he views business, and on all sorts of topics, from taxes to interest rates, why good managers matter at a company, to Berkshire Hathaway's acquisition strategy. He just lets it all out into the world. What Lawrence A. Cunningham did is he's compiled every one of these shareholder letters he's written over the last 30, 40 years, and he's organized them by topic. So you can get Warren Buffett's thoughts on any particular business subject, and it's just so good. It's a deep dive in learning about the way Warren Buffett thinks about business. The third book I want to mention is called The Outsiders. Now, I love this book. It's not solely about Warren Buffett. Instead, it is about 8 unconventional CEOs and how they did radically different things than their peers, their CEO peers, but they had tremendous business success. And the reason why I bring up Warren Buffett, because he's one of those 8 CEOs who has just had tremendous success in returning value to a company's shareholders. But not only that, but he's also intertwined with a lot of the other CEOs, such as Katharine Graham from the Washington Post. He was her mentor, one of her good friends. There's also Tom Murphy at Capital Cities, and a host of others. So he's almost in every chapter because he's interacted with some of these great CEOs. So I love The Outsiders. It's a tremendous book. Has a lot of insight into great CEOs, and Warren Buffett definitely is one of them. Okay, the next one is Tap Dancing to Work by Carol Loomis. So Carol Loomis is a longtime friend of Warren Buffett, and she's also a terrific writer for Fortune. And during their friendship, which has lasted for decades, she really got to know Warren Buffett, but she was also one of the first people to ever write about Warren Buffett. And so she has written dozens and dozens of articles about Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and Berkshire Hathaway. And what this book is, it's a compilation of all of her fortune articles. And so through time, from the first time she ever mentions Warren Buffett to whatever her latest one was. And she gives a little blurb about each article, viewing it from now. But I really liked this one because it shows Warren Buffett from a different perspective, a single perspective, so Fortune magazine and his friend Carol Loomis over the years and how things have changed with him. But I learned a lot of new things I didn't know about him, and I really like tap dancing to work. Okay, the fifth one I wanted to mention, and I found this one to be very interesting, is called Buffettology by Mary Buffett, a former daughter-in-law of Warren Buffett. So I've read a lot about Warren Buffett. I've read all his theory, and I've watched a lot of his annual shareholder meetings. So I've heard him talk a lot. But this is the first book I ever read where it tried to take that theory and turn it into actual numbers and formulas and examples. And so Buffettology, the first half is theory of Warren Buffett theory and how he views business, but the second half is examples and numbers and formulas. And so let me show you exactly how Warren Buffett thought about this Coca-Cola deal. And it walks through numbers and how he would do some discounted cash flow analysis and all sorts of analysis to know if a company was worth buying. And it's really the only book I know of that seemed legitimate and that actually really made me think the practical application of Warren Buffett and his investing method. So really fascinating. I really liked Buffettology. But I hope you like this video. If you are interested in business or interested in investing, you have to acknowledge Warren Buffett. He's had so much success throughout his whole life. He's extremely rational. I love his business principles, and he's such a great communicator of the ideas that he follows. And so I'm a big fan of Warren Buffett, and I'm a big fan of these books. But I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.